If there's one thing I love, it's a developer that pours their soul into a game. And Which Way Up Galaxy Games is exactly the kind of story that makes me want to shout from the rooftops about local Aussie talent. I backed the original Kickstarter for Turtleflip Studios' quirky, gravity-based party game when it first launched, drawn in by their obvious passion and their delightfully hand-knitted character plushies that they offered as pledge rewards. While the campaign didn't quite hit the goal, the team went ahead and made the game anyway, releasing it on Nintendo Switch about a month ago, and I'm so glad it's here. What's it like? Grab some friends, chuck some popcorn in the microwave, and defy gravity as we review Which Way Up Galaxy Games on Nintendo Switch. At its core, Which Way Up Galaxy Games is a series of party games in space with all the minigame madness you'd expect. Plus, it has a clever twist on gravity physics. You can play specific games of your choosing or select a Galaxy Cups game of a set difficulty and rapid fire through a series of minigames until a victor is declared. It's a classic couch party game with an almost WarioWare vibe. The kind of experience that thrives when your friends are shouting over each other while trying to sabotage their way to victory. If you're running short on friends, the game has a single player mode as well, where you can rescue and unlock characters, and each arc revolves around that specific character. Admittedly, I thoroughly enjoyed the mini golf game when flying solo. The outer space theme gives the game a playful sci-fi sheen, but it's mostly there to support the zany physics and floaty movement. Planets, low-gravity arenas, and specific space hazards don't just look cool, but they influence how your characters move and interact, leading to some genuinely funny moments when the environment turns against you. Whether you're avoiding black holes for space golf or bouncing between platforms, the space setting helps the game feel lighthearted and unpredictable, leading to many laughs and sometimes frustrating eliminations. Which Way Up Galaxy Games doesn't reinvent the party game formula, but it does twist it, literally. The lineup of minigames is varied and well-paced, with everything from a space-themed mini-golf that's sure to satisfy, especially when your ball successfully orbits a planet and goes in the hole, and chaotic endless runners to strange little reverse soccer challenge where you're actually trying to score points for yourself. One of the surprising additions for me was a constellation grabbing mode, and it felt like a cosmic take on Call of Duty's domination mode, with players floating around trying to snag glowing stars before their opponents do. Do you stay to defend your constellation while the seconds count down by furiously comet punching your competition? Or do you try to make a mad dash and try to overwhelm the field? It's the small strategies that you can mix up, and it led to a lot of fun. The standout, at least in my house, was bomb tag. It's a simple premise: don't hold the bomb when the timer runs out. But the low gravity physics turn it into a frantic, floaty mess of last second dodging, Hail Mary leaps, and charging up some well-timed comet punches. My kids and I were in hysterics every time someone got tagged mid-jump, helplessly drifting towards their doom. It was in that moment, trying to launch myself away from a giggling child with a glowing bomb, that the game's physics truly clicked, as it's the glue that holds everything together. Each session awards player achievements when the final victor is declared, and some of them are just genuinely funny or interesting stats which made us laugh even more. Except for my wife when I was awarded the Most Comet Punches award. Which Way Up Galaxy Games opts for a clean and minimalist art style, but it's one that works in its favour. The character designs give it a Pixar Souls type vibe. They're simple, expressive, and just a little bit otherworldly. There's not a ton of visual detail in the environments, but there are small things like swaying grass in the golf levels. But the sparse aesthetic helps keep the action easier to follow and the chaos more controlled, especially in a 4-player co-op matches where things can get pretty hectic really fast. The clean graphics are backed by a soundtrack that reminded me of the NES World Championships, a PGA golf-style 80s throwback loop that did a good job in setting the fun mood. The game runs impressive on the Switch, and while I did notice a few minor visual glitches like some text alignment issues with speech going outside of speech bubbles, they didn't really impact the gameplay. Overall, the performance was responsive and it ran at a smooth frame rate even when things are getting out of hand on screen. For my Galaxy gamers looking into accessibility options, there are none included, so I recommend further research into seeing if Which Way Up Galaxy games suit your needs. At under $20 Australian on the eShop, Which Way Up Galaxy games is cheaper than a movie ticket, and honestly, it might deliver even more laughs. While the overall variety of the game modes isn't massive, the game's rapid-fire, round-robin style just kept things moving at a brisk pace. It's the kind of title where fun comes less from deep mechanics and more from a pick-up-and-play chaos of playing with others. Solo players may find the appeal will wear off a little bit quicker, especially once the novelty of the gravity physics fade, but as a couch co-op experience, especially with family or friends, it's an absolute winner. Whether you're pulling it out at the end of a dinner party or settling in for a weekend gaming session with the kids, it consistently delivers moments of frantic fun and laughter, which makes it well worth the price of entry. Which Way Up Galaxy games might be lined up against some stiff competition in the party game genre, but the nights of fun and laughter we had while playing it have secured it a podium finish. So, what's it like? Which Way Up Galaxy games is like Mario Party, crossed with the mind-bending planet physics of Mario Galaxy. I award it a 76 out of 100. In the interest of full disclosure, a review copy was provided by the publisher, but this doesn't influence my score. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you liked it, the best way you can support What's It Like is by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends. For more reviews, click on the thumbnails to the right, and for everything Nintendo, check out whatsitlike.com.au.